Good late night. Tonight I'm really happy, but I want to tell my life. I'm going to start telling a little bit of my life. I got called to preach 35 years ago in the Holy Tabernacle Churches of Christ. I was driving the apostolic bishop around, so we went to convocation in New Jersey, and it was one of our churches. Well, anyway, our meal course was good, and it was a good time. But it was church. You know what I mean? There was so many fine women back then. I was in the world, man, and I was on. I didn't sleep with any of them, but I took this one out. She was a bishop, and she was beautiful. I still remember her. But anyway, when it came time for me to answer my question, she said, "What's the significance of bringing a wallet or a purse to church?" And I said, "It's the commitment to God when it comes to tithing." And I answered that question right, and I got called, and I was licensed as a minister. I have a degree in theology, and I was almost ready to finish my second degree, and that would have been in social work, but it was heavy in psychology. But I didn't never finish because, life is life. God led me on another path. But anyway, what made me walk away from the church was, I never forget, we're in Newark, New Jersey. We go to Clef's Restaurant, and this prominent preacher's wife was rubbing her leg up my leg in the restaurant. I darn near choked on the fried chicken I was eating, and I backed off of it. So I told the apostle, I said, "Man, she trying to sleep with me." He said, "Son, these things happen in church." That was lesson one. The second lesson was we had to bring up a bishop in front of the church, and he was sleeping around with the women, so they all got mad, and we had to silence him. And then the apostle said, "Man, this thing's big as a horse." You know what I mean? So I got to laugh, but I started because I was really seeking God. So I walked away, and that was my disobedience to God. I walked away, and I was meant to change the church. But when I didn't change the church, the whole church fell. I was meant to stop the hypocrisy in it because the apostle knew that I was called and I was meant to run the church. God had written his word on my heart, but the family wanted a family member to run it. You know how it goes. So I walked away. Little did I know God had his hand on me all this time. So, don't look at the cover. So when you say I'm not worthy, I'm just as well educated as any preacher, been preaching longer than any of you. But I work in the trenches, and I love you all, and that's just a little part of my life.